Welcome to the Creative Spaces podcast with Guy Zwick and Scott Samil of Highway 85 Creative. In each episode, we will discuss creative ways to define your space and build your brand.
Welcome to another edition of the Creative Spaces podcast. I'm way too close. Woohoo! And we even have a crowd out. This is like the Today Show. We got the the people behind the window dancing and hold up that sign. Yeah, there it is. Raise the house. We're missing our Scott Samil today, so we'll send out some love. I'm going to be hosting this thing, and we have the Microchip team here. I made reference to this yesterday that I was going to surprise them. They're not ready for this podcast, but they're going to share some of their expertise, and we're going to put you on the spot a little bit. You're going to have to tell who you are, a little bit about yourself, and give the audience, Megan, would you like to start? And we'll go around. Do you want to start? Leah, you want to start? No? Kim, do you want to start?
I'll start.
Yeah.
What do I say?
Give us your name and what you do for Microchip, and in brief.
I'm Kim Johnson. I have responsibility for trade shows and events for Microchip. That's it.
Okay, go ahead, Megan. I'm keeping it simple.
My name's Megan, and Kim is my boss, and I help with trade shows.
And what's your favorite ice cream scoop?
Don't love ice cream, but if I had to choose, it would be espresso.
Okay, solid.
Yeah.
Megan?
Other Megan Walton.
This is starting to sound like Highway 85.
Yeah.
Fort Joe.
Megan number 2.
Megan number 2. I work under Kim as well, helping with trade shows and events. Are you going to ask me a question?
How about what is your favorite bubblegum?
I actually can't chew gum, but
I'm striking on both.
I know.
Yeah, I don't like ice cream.
I can definitely answer the ice cream
we know why
question.
he's not
Okay.
the
Oh,
host.
better one for you is what's your favorite donut?
Oh. Sidecar Donuts, located in Costa Mesa. My favorite place ever, Huckleberry Donut. Fresh.
Nice. Michelle.
Hello, my name is Michelle Zamora. I work for Kim Johnson also, and I'm under events.
Nice. Nadine.
Hi, my name's Nadine, and I'm with the event team as well.
And I'm normally the loudest in this group, but I'm really quiet today.
I think I'm trying to get used to the heat here in good old Arizona, but, since
Nice.
I'm a Cali girl here.
My last?
You're up.
Okay. My name's Leah, and I work with the two Megans. And I'm under Kim as well, and I do events.
Excellent. So, hey, we want to ask you a couple things. One, we wanted to go around the room. Going to have to put you slightly on the spot, but let you guys maybe bounce some things off each other. But we have a theme that we've been running for a couple of years now, and it's being thankful for trade shows and all the wonderful things the trade shows can provide companies, and both for you guys selfishly as event managers, for your teams, for your companies. We want to just get each person's individual take on why are you thankful for trade shows? Megan, why are you thankful for trade shows?
Really putting us on the spot today.
Besides that, provide you a job.
Well, yeah.
And you make a living.
So
from it.
selfishly and not selfishly, I guess. Selfishly, because I've learned very quickly a lot. You're thrown into situations and have to think on the spot. So I think it's taught me a lot of interpersonal skills, and in other ways, maybe if I would have freaked out, it's the kind of thing you have to take a breath and say, how am I going to solve this problem? And everyone else around me not think that I'm freaked out. So I guess patience, it's taught me a lot of patience, and interpersonal skills with people that you want to kind of blow up on if you're frustrated and you can't. So that's selfishly. I think what trade shows do for the company and for the world is not only brand awareness, but the same thing. You're interacting with a lot of different kinds of people. You're sharing product, you're building relationships, and I think those are all great things in the real world that you need.
It's amazing. Did anybody in here, this reminds me, anybody in here dream about being a trade show manager when you were younger? Did anybody even know it existed?
No.
So that made me think of it from a perspective of if you're somebody outside that doesn't even know what the trade show industry is or what it can do from a career standpoint or a learning standpoint. It's a multifaceted experience being a trade show manager. Why are you thankful for trade shows?
Well, internally, I like to interact with all the different employees. We're trapped in an office majority of the time, so it is nice to interact with other employees. And it's nice to get out of the office, too, when we do get to travel, see what everybody else is doing out there.
So do you find it that it's a huge team building activity outside of just, hey, the sales staff and the Marcom staff is going, to do its branding at a show. It's actually a bonding event in itself.
Absolutely.
And I subscribe to it. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of that and not just have everyone go off to their own rooms or not plan events during the showtime for the whole team to really get to know each other and really, grow as a team and an organization. Michelle, would you like to tell us why you are so thankful for trade shows?
Well, just like Megan, just interact with the BUs and talking to different people. Trade shows I look at it as every time you do a trade show, it's something different. And you're interacting with different people. Your vendors are different. Your setups are different. So that's like a challenge because I love challenge. So every time you go to a trade show or build a trade show, you need to, figure out best way to figure out what's go here and where it goes there. So
you have to MacGyver.
Yeah, exactly. And me, I like to be organized and I like to, it's like a puzzle. Fit the little pieces in the booth. So
let this be noted for anybody in the ADD community. You should get into trade shows. Business. Nadine, tell us a little bit why you're thankful for trade shows, both from a corporate standpoint, the company, and you personally.
Well, definitely from a corporate standpoint, it's nice to have our products out there and all our new products to show the awareness out there. But moreover, I like more on the personal standpoint. It's also seeing what's new out there, meeting the people, walking to other booths and just also being in the same industry. You're always bumping into everybody throughout the years. I mean, just at my last show, I think the half morning, I'm just bumping competitors or same industry. And you're always just connecting with people and even working together, what you could do to move forward.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think vendors, you forget about those vendor relations and that time spent at those, condensed events are huge.
Very much
It's just
so.
different than being on the phone or in emails.
Absolutely. It's always good to see the face. And I'm glad that when we all do come together and you do see somebody on the floor, it's like, oh, wow, it's great to see you. And finally face to face. And it's more that personable relationship and you just continue to build.
Okay. So Milky Way or Snickers?
Snickers.
There you go. Kim, why are you thankful for trade shows? And also, why should Microchip be thankful for trade shows and not maybe take it for granted all the opportunities that they have?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to create brand recognition for the company. It's an awesome venue to bring together senior management to meet with customers in one place so they can knock out, 15, 20 meetings in the course of a couple of days, which is really great. Personally, I've been doing this a long time and I've had a lot of opportunities afforded me to experience other cultures and countries. And the travel has just been amazing. The people are a big part of that. I have people that, some of my closest friends, we were in the trenches together at shows. So it goes a long way. It really goes a long way.
All right. And last but not least, why are you thankful for trade shows?
I would say I'm thankful for trade shows because of all the travel that we've gotten. we're pretty young and we get to travel around the country, and Kim got to travel around the world, so I think that's something that definitely should not be taken for granted. And I just like meeting everybody face to face that I email. Like, I feel like after we meet on the show floor, it's just so much easier to work with them after that, because you have like a personal relationship, and it's just everything just
That's an
flows.
interesting perspective, because we always talk about it being face-to-face marketing, but also what I just heard there was it's face-to-face with your own team and the VUs and everybody else that you're dealing with that you don't see across the country. They're just an email.
Yeah, and once you get to know them, like, you can talk to them on the phone, just, hey, how's your family? Hey, how's, it just gives you a better relationship. It's just so much easier after that.
So I want to segue this into the trade show hangover. Avoiding the trade show hangover. We've done some podcasts on it, and we've done some blogs on it.
Yeah.
And it is what you think it is. So imagine a real hangover. And the next day, you are just like, oh, yeah, exactly. You're worn down, you're beat, you don't remember half the night, you just don't, was it worth it? What did we do? Did we get the ROI on that event? I got my knee hurts, my feet hurt. How do we avoid and overcome the trade show hangover? I'm going to throw that out just blanketedly. Go ahead.
It's not just like the exhaustion the next day from being on the show floor. It's the experience of the planning and the build up and all the work and all the effort. And then afterwards, it's like, oh God, I'm never going to a trade show again. How do you avoid the regret of
and we find it, just before you start, that why we like to bring this one up and talk about it is that there is definitely across the board a difficulty in getting a measurable ROI. So there's always this hangover that comes from all the work, and then what do we get out of it? So we're looking for you guys to tap into a little bit about how to avoid the trade show hangover.
Alcohol.
I like that. There's no trade show hangover if you got a regular hangover.
A massage. No.
I feel like it's kind of inevitable. Like, being tired, you don't know what day it is. It just happens. But, I mean, I think we like doing it, so I don't know that we get a hangover from it.
I don't think it lasts too long, if it is. I think it's more the next morning, you're about to travel home, you're tired, but once you're home and back in your planning routine for the next show, you get fired up again.
Yeah.
So it's not that, it doesn't last long.
Yeah, that's why we do what we do.
We're constantly busy. We don't have time to be tired.
And the pros outweigh the cons. That's such a insignificant time during the whole year, during the planning process, during the actual show. I think it's easy to recover from it because it's not mostly a hangover. It's mostly, grinding and seeing those interactions and seeing that potential ROI coming in and those meaningful conversations and meetings. So that's what I think helps bounce over that hangover.
Well, here's a positive, that you guys didn't have a whole bunch of negative things to just say. This group just said all positive things.
That's true.
Which means that you are doing something right. Because usually everyone goes right to all the things that they dislike and are bad. So that was very interesting.
I think we're all pretty happy doing what we do.
Yeah.
And we thrive on social interaction. So we get to go out to, like they said, we're in an office and the three of us hang out all the time, but we actually get to go out and talk to other people, and so we thrive on that. So it's fun.
So one thing that we didn't talk about in that meeting, which was a smaller trade show in a box, 10 by 10s, tabletop shows, would become the bulk of a lot of people's shows themselves, aren't all the big ones. And segueing and finishing this podcast up, I just heard that you guys did a whole do's and don'ts for the trade show in a box program, those smaller events. And I'm always preaching that sometimes those are the best valued events that you all go to and your team goes to. Least cost of entry, not very much expense in travel. You can send one person that can go get 4 or 5 leads and make that same CES deal at one little show by just meeting the right person. So it is important, and that people take it serious and do it right and do all the little things. So what are some of those do's and don'ts? Maybe spread it out so we get one do or don't from each. Someone's laughing.
I'm laughing because the dog is snoring.
Well,
Yes, we're picking it up on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. We'll
You should not clean it up because
just leave it. Yeah, it's Siggy. It's our mascot. But yeah, let's share a little bit of just one item each, do's and don'ts to help other trade show managers dial in their smaller 10 by 10 events. Nadine?
Do's, make sure they set up the booth correctly for a simple 10 by 10. And I guess that's our job to make sure that we're communicating correctly as well at the same time.
Why? Okay. We don't want to make it too long of a discussion, but Kim?
Leave your snacks and water bottles behind the counter. Don't leave them sitting out on your tables, countertops, reception counters, things like that. Keep it clean.
Another one? Anyone?
Putting literature in the rack where they belong, not all over the table, spread out everywhere, so that you can easily go to what you need, or people just walking by can take a look and grab it easier without getting the trenches right away if they don't want to.
I would say less is more for the 10 by 10.
Yes.
Keep it clean.
Yes. Come on, we need another one. Here, I'll throw a couple out that are pet peeves, and that is being in a hurry to leave and pack up every day and be done with the show. Anyone that goes with that mindset is already at a detriment. So, because some of the best things that can happen are the people that want to work the aisle, want to be there to the end, get everything out of it. So that's one. Two is barriers. Any barriers that you put, like I know you guys have some table throws and things, but when you put barriers in front of it, and people sit in chairs, they're sitting down, you're just putting a block between you and the audience. I think lastly is I do agree with less is more. The less you have there and the more emphasis on using the staff that you have there, the 1 or 2 people, 3 people, whatever it is, the better. So, well, we're going to wrap this up and go do some painting. Thank you all for participating in the Creative Spaces podcast.
Thank you for having
Goodbye.
us.
Thank you for listening to Creative Spaces Podcast. For more information about Highway 85 Creative, visit us at highway85creative.com.